Then Levante David retires, and it's kind of like gut punch after gut punch after gut punch to the fan base. And I don't know about you guys, but we felt at Pewter Report the whole mood change on draft night when this team got what we found out was their 4th ranked player on their board at number 15, almost like a Warren Sapp kind of thing all over again, happens to be from the U. But when they got Ruben Bane from Miami and getting that elite pass rusher at 15, the whole mood changed. This was like the exhale that was needed. This fan base needed to smile and be happy again. And I mean, it just kind of changed the whole vibe, I think, about this team in the offseason. And now it's like Vita Vea, Kalijah Kancey, Yaya Diaby, and Ruben Bane. It's almost like he was that missing piece of the puzzle up front for this team. You kind of see it the same way that Ruben Bane is going to have that type of impact, at least from a psychological standpoint to start the season?
Well, if the puzzle doesn't miss a piece like Vita Vea, he might. That might be a different situation if he's gone. I'm still trying to figure out how Ruben Bane Jr. was there at number 15. Somebody still has to explain that to me, because in a league where I know they do all the measurements and, you know, the arm size and all this nonsense, but you also watch the tape. And this guy was maybe the most elite, one or two most elite pass rushers in college football. And he's not just, you know, he's a kid from Miami, from that area that Levante David was from, where football isn't just a sport to them, man. It's a lifestyle, you know, and he's a serious cat, which you love. But think about, and you can't get away from these comparisons, even though they sound absolutely ridiculous, but just in terms of the Buccaneers changed when Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks came to this franchise, right? And they changed forever. I don't think either one of these guys you could say are going to go to Canton, Ohio. We haven't seen them play even a practice snap in pads. So I'm not going there yet. But if you have foundational pieces on defense, like an elite edge rusher or pass rusher and an inside linebacker, you know, that can carry you a long way. Those guys are 23 years old. Yeah. So presumably they're going to be in this defense playing, you know, aside each other for a very long time. And if they did hit on this, and if they hit on both these guys, and I think, you know, we heard in the offseason that Todd Bowles wanted to get bigger. You were talking about Anzalone a minute ago and Jeremiah Trotter. Well, yeah, you're bigger now. And the reason he wanted to do that was he didn't want to have to commit 8 guys to stop the run, you know. And now all of a sudden Antoine Winfield Jr. isn't just playing center field all day. Now you can start to, you know, play those chess pieces and move them around and bring some pressure from different areas. But before, you had to commit so damn many guys to stop the run. That's why Ashawn Robinson's here. That's why the larger guys. But yeah, getting back to Bane, I think he's a defensive rookie of the year candidate, and I haven't seen him take a snap in the NFL. But I think he could be that good. And if you've got a guy like that in the National Football League that every team has to account for, look how good Yaya Diaby is. Look how good Kalijah Kancey is. Look how no one can run the football on this football team. Like, those are big pieces, man, that just sometimes you got to get lucky, Scott. They got lucky back in the day when Warren Sapp fell to them. They could have taken Warren Sapp much earlier and traded down and still got him. You know, and then came back and got Derek Brooks. So sometimes that's the best pick is just a little bit of luck like that. And
it's almost like Tristan Wirfs, is it not? He was the fourth tackle left, and the Bucs got him at 12 or 13, whatever it was.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I can remember this spring looking at mock drafts, and the first thing you look at every time is where do the edges fall? And so often Bane was gone at 8, at 9. I think. I can remember when he was there at like 11. I wondered, like, wow, like would the Bucs give up a 3 or something?
Move up.
I wasn't expecting him to be there. So for them to be able to sit and have him fall all the way to them at 15, it's so rare that the most natural need for what you in a given class need lines up perfectly with the unexpected best talent.
The dream draft.
Yeah, I mean, you could have run this draft 50 times, and I don't know that there's that many where Bane falls to 15 and they get the guy they want. So, and then what's cool about it is that as excited as they were on draft day, I think they've built on that throughout this whole summer. And it's all non-padded practices, but just in terms of his approach, his demeanor, everything he's shown to this point.
And his freaky bend. I mean,
oh yeah,
that's not natural. It's full speed round the hoop when you're about a foot or two off the ground. I mean, you talk about low natural center of gravity. He has it, and then some. I mean, this is a guy that just he can do some freakish things. And what I love about the Buccaneers is they've rarely had like that Goliath type of guy. I mean, Vita Vea is a Goliath in his own way, but I'm just saying like that. They don't have like a Miles Garrett looking guy in the past. They've got, Derek Brooks, who when you see him walking down the street, even in his prime, you wouldn't think he's an all-pro linebacker, right? Warren Sapp had, kind of a sloppy body, but incredibly strong. One of the fastest cat-like, quick, agile guys
Great
in the world.
feet, yeah.
Yeah, Mike Allstott, would he run a 4.8 or something, and pushing around a Jeep? You don't think of him, say, yeah, we want him to be our running back. Warwick Dunn, diminutive Warwick Dunn. Rondé Barber, 5'10", 180. He's a future Hall of Famer? What? The Buccaneers have just made it a franchise history. They won Super Bowls with guys that just don't look the part. And so I think for Ruben Bane to come to the Isle of Misfit Toys that has been Tampa Bay, welcome. Like, we've seen what your kind can do, and we're ready to see it again because I think this guy is going to be an absolute star. I agree with you. He is a defensive rookie of the year candidate and maybe, a favorite. We'll see how he comes out of the gate. Guys, would it surprise you if he just lights it up in Cincinnati and just gets a sack or two out of the gate? The Bengals don't have a great offensive line, but I mean, I could just see this guy just the way he snatched that hat and walked out the draft day. I could just see him just saying, I'm here to put on a show in week one.
Well, in practice is where he's going to make a difference because, he's going to be going up against Tristan Wirfs and Luke Gedeke. But like all those guys that practice with Ruben Bane are going to have to step it up or you're going to look silly. Like he's going to go so hard. We saw him hitting sleds and doing those circle drills and things. Like nobody goes that hard in OTAs. Nobody goes that hard in mini camp and shorts.
He's sprinting from drill to drill when everyone else is kind of light jogging. He is the first one there every time ready to go.
And that's the thing. You need those guys that set that tone and that do it during the week because if you can, if you practice that way and you can translate that on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, man, that's when you got something. And he's a young cat that's doing it. So what's the excuse of everybody else? I think he's the perfect player at the perfect time for them. And if he stays healthy and if Vita Vea stays on the team, I think you're going to see some great things from him this year.
When you look at the Bucs defense, in my opinion, and I'll let you either co-sign on this or leave it alone if you want. I love defense. That's my side of the ball. I've always loved it. I think this defense was too soft the last couple of years. Right. And you can have all of the rah positive guys, the Winfields, the Davids. That type of leadership is fine, and we've seen that through the years. With the John Lynches and the Derek Brookses, they were a different kind of leader than Warren Sapp was. Sapp brought the nastiness, the edge. Hardy Nickerson was that way too, And Jason Pierre-Paul and Ndamukong Suh were that way on that Super Bowl team. And when those two guys left the building, they took the nasty and the edge away. And I just think this team has been missing that. And now you bring in a guy, I'm going to show the mugshot again because why not? A'Shawn Robinson. And no one's going to confuse him for a Pro Bowl player, right? He has not sniffed a Pro Bowl in his career at any stage, but still you can bring some of that nasty. You can start the fight in practice, right? You can have that type of edge. You can be the enforcer. And then Ruben Bane is his partner in crime now, right? And those are some guys that I think, and Al-Quadin Muhammad certainly has an edge about him too. I like that because that's a necessary ingredient. If you're going to be a nasty defense, you got to have some nasty leaders. And I don't think that this team has had that. And that's something you can't measure at the combine. It's an intangible, but it's a necessary intangible, is it not?